Look who we have here. In case you're wondering who, that's the Ola S1 Pro. The big test is I want to record my journey. Want to see if this big full face helmet would fit in the boot. Let's see. To unlock, this is slightly confusing. I don't remember how long you need to press it. There is no key here. There is no physical key. Oh yeah, now it's here. So you enter a password to open it. The scooter unlocks. That's the home screen to open the boot. I like the sounds. And this is the portable charger you get with the scooter. You just press this button to open it. And once you open the plug point, this is their proprietary standard. This is of good quality. I think there is good sealing, weather sealing. This I'm not so sure. This feels little flimsy. Not a fan of this color because this would get dirty, and this feels solid, but in terms of, this is a basic 5 amp socket. They also give you a cover, nice quality cover though. Another big test to see if this would fit. It does go inside, but I doubt it would fit because you see the seat's pretty thin and it won't go in. Even if I put it sideways, no luck. Mind you, this is a big helmet, not a typical full face helmet. So half face helmets would easily go, 2 of them, but full face, no. Man, this gave so much of trouble already. This thing is irritating. Don't worry if I'm showing you the pin code because it's going to be changed. Anyway, see, that's the boot lid indication. It's locked, but it's showing as open. See? I think the sensor's not perfect. That's a bug. I don't know. It's a mechanical or a software bug. Either way, the lid's closed, it's not open. This has done 191 kilometers, so I think just 1 or 2 charges. Yeah, all good. Basically, you have only 2 menus, and this is to increase the volume. This is to increase the modes. This is for play, pause for the music. Obviously it's not turned on because that software feature hasn't been enabled yet. Low beam, high beam, off. And this is reversing assistant. Enable ride mode. So you hold the brake and touch this power button so you can go in reverse. Let's engage that and see.
A few moments later.
Man, that's irritating. Okay, this is full throttle. See, nothing's happening. Strange, man, because the acceleration works. Anyway, to change modes, oh sorry, this is indication. To change modes, you press this button. Normal, sport and hyper. 96% is the battery capacity. We have a range of 131 in normal, 115 in sport, 92 in hyper. Let's do the normal mode and then decide how this works. The first thing that I noticed coming from an Aether 450X is just how heavy this feels. I mean, I think I like sport mode quite a lot. I don't know if the speedo is accurate, but I'm already at 80. And this is a quick scooter here. Initially that throttle lag is definitely felt, but afterwards it's just taking off quite well. Perfect timing. We have a signal light and we can launch this. We can do 0 to 40 here and see how this feels. Okay, time to change the mode. Put it in hyper. Okay, till the signal comes, let me talk about few things here in terms of the feel and build quality. This feels very aftermarket. The grips, the button quality is decent, not the best. You see these mirror gaps, panel gaps and all. Not a fan of that. The paint finish is good, but I see some gaps here. It's not uniform the way this is done when you touch and feel. Obviously touch. Brake levers have no adjustability, that's fixed. In terms of the build quality, this is decent. Ather is definitely better in terms of how it feels. Nice, pretty good, yeah. Indicators, but in hyper mode, oh, this is quick, yeah. This is way quicker than the Ather 450X. But do I feel very stable on this? Not so sure. But it's very maneuverable in the city, like most scooters are. I think there is a lot of good in this scooter than the bad. If I have to point out any bads, that's primarily just the software glitches, those small first gen product teething issues that are always there. If let's say there is an S2, I'm sure after 2-3 years all these things would be sorted. The combi brake is pretty decent. Let's see if we can overtake here. Pretty good, yeah. Nice. So far I've been riding in the hyper mode for quite some time. I don't feel any throttling or heat issues. I mean, like, the weather is pretty cool, so that lag, man. When you want to quickly accelerate, that lag's killing the experience of the scooter. I'm not a big fan of how this handles, especially I thought with a wider section of tires, I thought this would handle much more reassured, but in the corners I'm not comfortable in this. I was more comfortable in an Ather. Compared to Ather, one big advantage that this scooter has is it's very comfortable for a taller rider. I'm able to easily maneuver this in the traffic without the footboard or the panels ahead hitting my leg. That used to happen in Ather quite a lot. Let's see here in this bad stretch how this would handle. Pretty good, yeah. The reason people... अरे suddenly बंद हो गया. बंद. Oh, this is a problem, यार. You saw that, right? There is so much of lag in the uphill section. I was thinking there was no acceleration and it was getting stuck and I was throttling fully, and then there is a burst of torque. That is very dangerous for someone who is not used to scooters or electric scooters. They might just go hit something, man. I've done maybe 10 kilometers or 9 kilometers in hyper mode, and this should have been 81 or 80, not 76. So the decrease in the available range to the distance covered is not entirely accurate. This is a very bumpy stretch, by the way, because it's a cement road. It's handling it with ease, yeah. I mean ride, not handling. As of now, these are the big pros that I see. Is just how big and how matured this looks. Ather feels smaller, lighter. There will always be takers for that, but this looks much more matured in person. Number two, the range. I'm sure even in the worst case scenario, just trying to do some math on the back end of the performance in hyper mode, if you drive it in hyper mode non-stop, I'm sure you would get anywhere around 75 to 85 easily. That's my gut feeling, that's my estimate. So in normal mode, I'm sure you can do 120, 130, which is amazing. That's the Ola S1 Pro, guys. Really good looking scooter and really well done. I like the lack of swing arm there. It's a single sided swing arm probably. Ground clearance is pretty decent, not an issue. You think that might scrape, but that's just on a side stand. Ather integrates the side stand and the footrest pretty well. This This is not so great. I don't like the way it pokes outside. The suspension on this is done really well. I don't know the terms or mechanical names for it, but it feels good to ride. On a whole, it's a good looking scooter here. The seat base is pretty comfortable. Once Shriman comes, we both will sit and see how it is, but the seat base is pretty wide for two people. I've shown you the under seat storage. The grab rails are of, don't feel of the greatest quality. You see, they move a bit, but that's fine. The board should have been flat, and every few seconds this locks on its own, so you have to do that. Enter the password and then you get it. See, this is the problem I was talking earlier. So these are the riding statistics. It's not entirely done by me. Some of it was by the subscriber, but I think it shows battery temperature too here, which is good here. We have Shriman to give us passenger feedback. This is in normal mode, okay?
The torque is so good.
The top speed in normal mode came down by half with the pillion. If you had another 85 kilos?
Plus 4 or 5.
Time to test the reverse mode. When do you want to drive? Ride it. బయట నడుపుదాం బా ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు ఇది టెస్టింగ్ ట్రాక్ ఇది బగ్ ఉందన్నా కదా క్లోజ్ అవ్వట్లే అని అండ్ ఇది వాల్యూమ్ కంట్రోల్ ఉంది కానీ దట్స్ ఫర్ మ్యూజిక్ ఐ విష్ దే హ్యాడ్ ఆప్షన్స్ టు కంట్రోల్ ది వాల్యూమ్స్ ఆఫ్ ది అలర్ట్స్ బికాస్ దట్ ట్రంక్ ఓపెన్ అలర్ట్ ఆర్ దట్ రివర్సింగ్ అలర్ట్ సౌండ్ ఇస్ టూ లౌడ్ సీ దట్స్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇరిటేటింగ్ సో బ్రేక్ పట్టుకుంటే యాక్సలరేటర్ ఇస్ డిసెంగేజ్ కంప్లీట్లీ దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ లెర్న్
How do I know if it's on or off?
ఈ రెండు కళ్ళు వస్తే ఆన్ ఉన్నట్టు Aditya booked Ola.
I booked a long back when they first started the Paytm this thing. Yeah, so I was talking about this. Like if you are in this kind of traffic,
Okay.
once you brake, the power disengages.
And it takes
And
time
then
to
it takes
come
time
back.
it takes time to come back. So now if you see, I'm full throttle, but it's not going ahead.
Yeah. Which is scary sometimes.
Yeah,
Suddenly
yeah,
it
yeah.
might come back
Correct,
again
correct,
at full speed.
I mean,
Because it's not linear. What the throttle
Correct.
and the speed
Yeah.
that you go is not linear.
yeah. That's one issue. That's all. I think that's the
I think these are all rectifiable in software
software.
update.
Yes.
So Aditya, confirming your booking?
Not now. I have other
Other karcha.
Yeah.
But
So hai thoda.
final thoughts?
I think I liked it.
Good.
I liked it. It's nice. Acceleration response, like the initial response, the sound is way too high. Like you can blast your woofers. It's that high.
The speaker, he's talking about alerts and sounds coming from the
It's too
speakers
high, it's
here.
too high.
These are the speakers. You don't need.
Chao na. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that, dude.
they are the speakers.
So those, I think they at least have to give an option to reduce the sound for
Cut
that.
it down,
Or else
yeah.
you will for sure people will what's happening, or you can legit throw a party. But apart from that, I think it's nice. I only didn't like the acceleration part. I think
Yeah, I think that's a software thing.
buttons.
Buttons.
Maybe you'll get used to it
So
in time.
these are not conventional
Yeah.
buttons.
Like we're used to those.
My opinion changed a lot from the beginning of the ride to now. Obviously, there are if you have an OCD like me in terms of design quality, build quality, and all, the experience would be different. But in terms of just the riding behavior, the bugs, I thought these are all minor things. Initially, I thought they were big, but no, this is really a good scooter. When I started, I would have rated this maybe 5 out of 10, but now I would go as high as 8. There are issues, but still not major issues.
Yeah.
You can live with this.
You would recommend.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I've been driving this since 5 o'clock non-stop for all except for the coffee, 1 hour coffee. I didn't find any heating issues. Mind you, the weather right now in Hyderabad is cool around 28 degrees. And I think that
I think also the first units which they gave for media.
recent test drives also they complained about the
Okay.
where the mode
No,
of it.
I'm kind of recollecting those videos which I've seen. I think everybody went on a one by
Back-to-back
one.
cycle.
Yeah, and then
So-
everybody might have
No,
put
but
it on
the
hyper.
owner of this scooter said the range was suddenly dropping once or twice, but I didn't find it
Yeah.
in this mode. In this trip, shorter.
But
than
one amazing thing which I like, when you put it to the next mode,
Oh,
it gives you that kick.
instant kick.
Crazy, that's crazy.
Yeah, for a first gen, pretty good, yeah.